increase their sales by getting them qualified leads on autopilot. The Digital Marketing Show is a project that has a simple idea but a powerful one. Add value to your business by sharing how our successful guests are achieving their goals, growing their business, and living a different lifestyle. Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? Today, I've got a very special guest. I have William Forgin here, and he helps my tribe, actually, Brazilians, to acquire the financial freedom so they can move abroad without having to accept lower qualified jobs. There you go. Let's bring him here. Hey, mate, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Luis? How are you?
Pretty
Doing
good.
great.
We were
It's funny.
just, yeah, we were
When we
just
were
talking. Yeah, you go.
we were talking in Portuguese just a few seconds ago now, and now
Yeah.
we have to switch in English. It's funny.
We were just like, oh man, that's gonna be weird because we just talked to each other in Portuguese, and it's interesting because he actually French,
Yes, exactly. This is
mate.
I
Like,
we are
how
both victims of the globalization.
yeah. So how can a French guy speaks Portuguese fluently? What happened?
Well, I guess I'm pretty easy with learning new languages. So hopefully you will excuse my English because I don't practice it so much. Last time I practiced it was it's with you, and last time was I guess it was in January. I read it a lot, but most of my time I speak Portuguese. Not even French. Most of the time it's
Amazing,
Portuguese.
amazing. Alrighty, so you help Brazilians. So you help Brazilians that are leaving Brazil, or Brazilians that are planning to leave Brazil to go overseas?
Well, actually, both. The story is actually it's kind of it's an interesting story because it's reflecting my own experience. I lived in Brazil and for 4 years was a great experience. Came back with a wife and and a baby, so
Oh,
it's nice.
congratulations!
And the thing I before before when I moved to Brazil, I was working in a fitness industry. I was a coach, a physical trainer. And the thing is, in Brazil, my qualification were not recognized. I couldn't work legally. I could work legally at any jobs, but Brazil, for example, they have a really restricted rules if you want to work as a physical trainer.
Yeah.
And my own diploma, my French diploma, and wasn't had no value on the market and wasn't recognized by the official regulation in Brazil.
Hmm.
So I couldn't work legally as a physical trainer in Brazil. And the only option I had was whether going back to school and start a new, start studying again 5 years at university, or totally change my area, or I could just start working not kind of illegally, right? It's like, it's still legal because I know what I'm doing, but officially I wouldn't be being paid as a true professional. So this is what I was living in Brazil, and I was stuck because I was like, I'm not going back to school. I mean, I'm not against going back to school, but I didn't want to go back. I didn't have the mindset. My mindset wasn't ready to go back to school for 5 years and
To
without
study something that you already know as well.
exactly. And the worst, in my opinion, the worst was I had to go back go back to school with kids, and kids that they don't know what they're doing. They don't even know why they're here and starting again. And I was like, no, I can't. I just can't. It's too much for me. I think this pressure was even bigger than anything else. So I started working and kind of illegally and getting paid, really low. I guess one of the lowest rates
Wow,
you
yeah, I
you
can
can
imagine Brazil, like the currency is just completely off as well.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and mentally was really tough because I left a good job in France when I because when I moved back to Brazil,
Yeah.
I left a good job in France, working as a personal trainer in Paris, and getting really really good clients, making good money, really good money. On the average, it was around something between 120 150 per 150 per hour,
Is it
euros.
euros? Yeah.
Yes,
Wow. That's pretty
exactly.
good. Yeah.
And going back going to Brazil, the problem wasn't about making money because the Brazilian market it's a really
Yeah.
attractive market, especially in the fitness area. But the problem was doing it legally and getting paid what I'm really worth. And
Yep.
I went from making more than 100 euros an hour to I did the conversion, but to about something between 3 to 6 euros an hour in Brazil.
Oh.
It wasn't good.
That's a terrible pay cut.
And the thing is, yeah, instead of going back to school and complaining, I just went for finding a new solution, and because I wanted to keep working in the fitness industry, so
Yeah.
I just went looking for another solution, and this is where I ended up getting to know more about online business and digital marketing and how to market your business online and how to create a tribe, how to sell your stuff online and all this kind of stuff. And this is where it all began actually. And this way helped me make the transition from fully offline to hybrid and then fully online. And this thing is like was it was really the best solution for me because when we me with my wife when we decided to move back from Brazil and back to Europe, actually, I had my business with me and I just needed to shut down the laptop, travel back home, and then open the business again, and I was ready to keep working. So this is really great.
That's the beauty, isn't it? So yeah, when you have an online business, it doesn't matter the recession, doesn't matter what's going on. You can go anywhere you want, really. And I think it's very funny because you went to Brazil, um, and you were struggling with the currency, with job, and then you went back to your country with a job, like with your own business, essentially. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
it's so good. So all right, cool. So you went to Brazil, you speak Portuguese now, and then you started like helping Brazilians.
Well, exactly. Well, at beginning, no, the Brazilian project it just started a few months ago, and I
Okay,
was
so what,
yeah,
what were you
exactly.
doing back in Brazil when you had your first online business?
I was working with the French market because I meant
Ah, cool.
because I wanted to start doing it in Portuguese for the Brazilian market. But the problem is this is a little story, but the problem is because of this regulation they have in Brazil around the fitness world, it's truly it's kind of a mafia, if you it's a mob. If you want to work, you need to pay to have your license, so you're officially a personal trainer, a certified personal trainer, and it's a government regulation. And I wanted to do my business online in the fitness space in Portuguese on the Brazilian for the Brazilian market. But I was afraid because I've heard many stories, and I was afraid of doing it in Portuguese without having the proper documents. And I was like, I don't want to. I
Get
mean,
kicked out
I
and
got
get in trouble
yeah,
because of that.
exactly.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had all my this helped me too a lot because I had all my previous clients, French clients. I had everything in French already, so I said, okay, I just
Mhm.
start with the French, and we'll see where it goes.
Cool, interesting. So, all right. So, you like, how did you learn? Did you do a course online to learn how to create your business? And how was that experience? Like, and did you fail at first? Because I mean, it's pretty hard when you go to a new country, let alone like do something like this. Like when you're already in a like out of your comfort zone, learning a new language, and you know you, it's there's so much happening. So how was your experience?
Yeah, I bought many, like I guess I don't know, like many anyone. I bought many courses. I followed lots of gurus, and I just keep jumping from one shiny object to another, and finding a new method. Every week I was like, "Ah, I need to buy this guy's course because it's the solution. This is what's gonna help me because really I try to do it on my own. Prior this, prior me moving to Brazil, I worked in the States in Florida for a guy. He's a famous on YouTube, famous guy on YouTube in the fitness space. And he was one of the first, doing this kind of work on YouTube, fitness work and fitness online fitness business. And when I was invited to work for him a few years ago, and but I didn't even know, he was working online. I just went as a normal, trainer. And this is when I went to his facility that I discovered all this, online world, and you could make money selling your stuff online and selling your knowledge and selling stuff online. So I was like, wow, this was really impressive for me. And before I leave, his facility in the States, just one of his trainer, he just gave me, I don't have it, but I know it's a pain. I don't have it anymore. It's a shame, but he just gave me basically a sheet of paper, and he wrote by hand the step I had to do if I wanted to build my business online. So I was like, you need to buy a domain, and then you download the theme, you go on WordPress, and then just I don't know, just figure it out. I was like, okay, cool. And I swear, I spent 2 years trying to do it. Try doing it. WordPress and everything. It was a nightmare for me. It was really really hard. And when this happened in Brazil, when I couldn't work in Brazil, and I really started wanted to put my business online and start an online business, and actually making good money. I wanted to make good money too. I started investing in myself, and buying courses and buying coaching programs, so I could get better, and actually having a roadmap, so I could know the direction, where to go and what to do. So I bought many courses.
Awesome. Yeah, I like so. All right, cool. So then you put everything together, you started your business, and then like how did you start with the idea of helping Brazilians? Because I mean, it, like Brazil is a huge market, and um, it can be quite profitable as well. However, as you mentioned before, as you pointed out before, the currency is not as strong as the euro, for example, or the US, or most of the currencies out there, I guess, for the matter. But why did you choose to help the Brazilians instead of doing what you were doing before that would potentially be more profitable?
Exactly. Well, the first time I shut down my fitness business because I just got tired of the fitness industry, so I just shut it down.
Mhm.
And I had many requests from my from my small world, small fitness world, and everybody was seeing what I was doing online. So I started getting a lots of requests from other personal trainers that wanted to know how they could put their business online, their fitness business online. And I said, okay, this could be a good transition for me, because I was just, getting tired of dealing with clients and fitness clients. And I started going all in the teaching, coaches how they can put their business online.
Mhm.
And in the French market, it was in the French market, so it was everything in French in the French market. And I just, after a few months, I just realized that the French market, the French fitness market, is really new, is really immature, and it's not ready yet to grow and to consider this as a real business. It's still a hobby, So I felt that I was wasting my time, and I could help a lot more people, and obviously make more money in a different market. And I spent almost a year just trying a whole bunch of different things, trying different niches, different markets, different ideas, and a whole year of experimenting, not making almost not making any money, just living on the reserve I have, and the money I have from previous businesses. And it was a tough time, really, really tough time. And because I wanted to build a business that meant something for me. Making money, obviously, it's really important, because I want to make money, I want to make more money, and it's not the end goal, but making money is important. But obviously, I wanted to build something that truly meant something to me, and that I could really have a, I don't know, build a message and a message,
Message. Message.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Message, and build a message, and having a true impact, and truly help people, just not making money, but living better, having more freedom, having more I don't know, having more options too. And I was my wife. She's Brazilian, and we have a really big Brazilian community inside and outside of Brazil. You know, because she used to live in Australia too a few years ago.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so we have this big community, and every time we travel, we know we're hosted by these Brazilian friends everywhere, and so it's really nice. And I see, and I start looking at everyone. It's like, everyone, most of them in Brazil, they're like, yeah, I studied this, I study, I don't know, I study marketing, I study how to be a nurse, I study a lot of different things. But in the States, in Australia, in anywhere, the new country they are, it's like, no, I don't have anything against, I think every job is a necessity, but you have jobs like if you graduated as a nurse, you shouldn't be working at a restaurant just because you don't speak English very well yet, or just because I don't know, you don't have the right connections or don't know where to ask for a better job, a better opportunity. So I'm like, maybe I should do something in Portuguese because I feel like my wife, she's really good too she doesn't work in online at all, but she's a really good communicator. She's a Brazilian, so she's really easy to talk to. It's crazy, and I'm like, I need to use your skills inside of a business, and if we do it in French, her skills would be limited. So I say, I want you in my team, so let's build something in Portuguese, because obviously I think the French market, to me, the French market is kind of boring. It's too small, too slow, too old, and it's not moving fast enough, I think. And I'm like, I know, I just, to me, the Brazilian culture it's far more equivalent to the American or English culture. It's like, it's new, it's fast, and lots of ideas, and everything is moving, and everybody wants a piece of something. So everybody's trying to do something, and I like this. So I'm like, okay, I want to use my wife's skills. I want to work with her. I want to put her skills at use in a business in a good way. And I said, let's do something together. Let's try to help the Brazilian community. Let's try to use my story with my fitness business and trying to show different possibilities to, I don't know, Brazilian community that want to move outside of Brazil, just maybe to just travel more, or to, I don't know, just like you did, a few years ago when you decided to move out of Brazil and move out of Brazil, and today you ended up in Australia. So it's like, and this is, yeah, exactly. This is the idea.
That's pretty
Portuguese,
cool. I hope I wish I had met you before I came to Australia, because you interviewed me before, so I came here
exactly.
and it was really hard, it was really tough. So how do you help Brazilians when they arrive at other countries? Is it something that you do a preparation before they actually go, or once they get there they contact you? How does it work? And let's say in the case of the nurse, for example,
Uh-huh.
how would you be able to help a nurse, for example, or
Okay.
someone that already has some kind of skills for that matter? But because, like, for me, I was really like highly qualified already, like as a an information technology like practitioner, whatever. And but I couldn't speak English at all. So for me, it was pretty big, the challenge. So how do you help them?
Well, it's like, you just help them, because most of the time, this is my opinion, okay? Us, and I mean us, you and me, for example, because I lived in many different countries too. I lived in Australia too a few years ago, and us, people that they have this dream, maybe, or they want to move abroad. They just want this experience. Maybe it's just for a few weeks, maybe for a few years, maybe forever. You never know, but you know these kind of people, they have something different than the rest of the population. This is my certainty. I'm sure about this, because this is the type of people that they are willing to kind of give up everything they have, or everything they could have inside of their own country, to go for the unknown, to go to run and go after something that it's 100% unsure, because you don't know the end result. When you're inside your own country, it's kind of, it's like inside of a bubble. It's your own country, but you just started realizing this once you start moving out and leaving this bubble. And the thing is, this is what I said to mostly everybody I talk to, all the Brazilians I talk to. I say, you have something different, And most of the time, those people, they don't think they have something different. So I'm just a nurse, and today in Australia I'm just working as a waitress in a restaurant. I say, okay, maybe this is the way you see it, but you have something different because you have something to teach. You have something that you did and something that you do every day that lots of people would pay just to have a piece of this, just to get an understanding of how you did it, how is it your how it's your daily life, how was your decision making, how did you end up making the decision and did all the thing that you're doing today. And what I do is I help them figuring out what or how they could transfer this into an online business, how they could start selling something. And most of the time I just said to them, it could be something that you truly are good and qualified, but it could be something that it's just you're just passionate about it. I don't know about you, but for example, I here in France, I come from a quite a heavy, I don't know how you say, but a family that puts a lot of pressure inside of our head. I say our head because me and my brother, for example, it's a really I don't know, patriarch,
Patriarch, yep.
ouais, patriarch family. So and I feel like, for example, I feel like when I'm in France or around my family, most of the time I can't really be who I really want to be or who I'm meant to be. And when you have this experience of being abroad, you can be someone, you can be anyone, you can be someone without the fear of having, your family and friends criticizing or putting, stopping you from, truly reaching what you want to be or what you want to do. And I said to these people, I say most of the time you need to take advantage of the fact that you're away from a family and away from this influence, that you can start and do anything you want. And maybe it's something you graduated at, but maybe it's something you were passionate about, but you were ashamed of doing it, or because you didn't know how your family will react, for example. And because of this, today, this is what you can turn this into an online business.
Cool. I like it. So do you teach them how to like teach others in Brazil?
Teach what? Sorry.
So let's say like you've got a student and they're going to be teaching stuff online. They're going to
Yes.
teach whatever the skills they have like to Brazilians. Is that correct?
Yeah. It depends because it's not restricted. It's like, if you want to teach it in I don't know, if you're Brazilian and you live in Chinese and you speak fluently Chinese and you want to teach your stuff in Chinese, just go ahead and go where you feel the most confident to, and go where you think that the market is responding and you see opportunities. Because obviously, for me, for example, it would have been a lot easier for me to do all my stuff in French, because French is my main language, so it will be a lot easier for me. But I decided to go doing this project in Portuguese, because to me, this is where I felt like I had a lots of good, a good community, lots of good responses. And I thought I saw an opportunity. So I say, okay, to me, the market, this is where the market is. Obviously, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but there are some downsides about choosing Brazil, for example. And but it's you can teach it in English, in Portuguese, and this is the beauty of online business too. So see, you're Brazilian speaking English and teaching your stuff in English. So, and I'm French in teaching my stuff in Portuguese. So
I
it's
love
absolutely.
it. All right, cool. Let's talk a little bit more technical, stuff like regarding your business itself. So just so we can have an understanding. So in terms of the course itself, like where you hosting your course and what's the structure?
I use this one. This one is still in the beta version of the course. So I don't use any tech at all. I just use Facebook, and I host everything inside of Facebook group. So it's free. You don't have to spend hours, setting up all the tech and all the stuff. And the main point is you can adapt really quickly to what the audience really wants. So I don't. This is how I did it. This is why I told you a little bit earlier that I spent a year experimenting different stuff. And when I had my fitness business, it did very well because I didn't focus on the tech at all. I just focused on the results. How can I deliver a best result for my clients? And this is what got me really, really, really good results for me. for myself. And when I spent, this year experimenting different stuff, I did everything besides providing results for the clients. So this is why it didn't work, And this time I'm just focusing on getting results for the clients. So I'm just, putting all the tech aside and just focusing everything, um, to be easy, fast, and to deliver results for clients.
I love it. Yeah, I recently spoke to some other people that I actually interviewed, and yeah, essentially the message was keep it simple.
Yeah,
You don't need
exactly.
to be hostage of technology or anything like that.
Mm,
If you already know what needs to be done, how you can actually help others, keep it simple. It doesn't need to be anything too techy or too crazy. So I really like that. So in terms of client acquisition, how do you acquire your clients? And I mean, so you're providing something for free initially.
yeah,
When
I'm
Yeah,
loving it. I'm doing a challenge today. I starting doing a challenge. I think it's really good. It takes a little bit more work to get done than training I don't know, a cheat sheet or a PDF or a free guide. But I think I don't know. I'm in here for the I'm building a long term business. So I'm okay with doing more work and seeing not seeing results immediately, but I feel with the challenge, I just feel that you create a better connection with the audience. You really get to connect with them, exchange with them, and really get to know where or what their pain point is, so you can better adjust your content, your course, and all the rest. It's a because when you start putting everything on autopilot, then you want to make sure that you have a great product first. So you don't want to spend too much time. This is why I'm doing. I don't want to spend too much time with the tech, and I'd rather spend a lot of time with my community, with my clients and future students, and be sure that my course is easy to understand. My course is easy to apply, to consume, and to make sure to deliver good results for them.
cool. So we wrapping up like very shortly. Just can you give us a little overview of the challenge that you have happening right now?
Yeah, well, everything is Portuguese, but yeah, I have a 5 day challenge, and what I'm doing is I'm just doing live training during every day. Every day is a live training, and I have a workbook, and I send them the workbook, and they have to fill in the workbook during the live training, because this way I'm making sure that I'm keeping the audience connecting, and wanting to want more and to know what should be written in the workbook. We have homeworks and Q&As and everything. I have it two times a day during the week, 5 days a week, and at the end I'll be doing a live webinar at the end, so to onboard a new group of students.
Cool. I like it. That's awesome. So, mate, yeah, thank you so much for being here. It was awesome, like getting to know you a little bit better, getting to know your business a little bit better. Is it the best? I just left an URL there. Is it the best URL for people to contact you?
Yeah, this one is good.
Cool, brother. Once again, thank you, man. It was amazing having you here, and I'm looking forward to see how things will, like, yeah, like I'm so excited about the future. You are, really helping my, people back in Brazil. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And yeah, do you have any final words? Anything else you want to share before you go?
I guess I don't know if you have. I don't know. I hope my English was easy to understand, because as I say, English isn't my main point today, and hopefully hopefully I could serve your audience, or just get I help clarified something, and I'm more than open if for any more questions, and if I can help, I'm where to reach me, and it'd be a pleasure for me.
Legend. Nah, man, your English is pretty good. You don't even have a French accent. I love
You should hear me speak Portuguese.
it. Cool, brother. All right, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Luis.
Tchau, bye
Obrigado.
bye.
Tchau, bye.
De nada.